This program is sponsored by Imagine Theaters, Able Ideas, Comic City, and Echo Network.
Everyone, welcome to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. I'm Jill.
I'm Nick, and we want to wish you all a very happy new year. And once again, we have a brand new episode full of all new material.
That's right. Let's go to our first segment and see what's new.
What is your funniest story or craziest moment that's happened to you at a Comic-Con?
You know what? Nothing, because most of the people are scared of you because of the characters you play.
Right.
But I mean, other than somebody grabbing my ass during a picture or something like that, or they just touch you. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll go with that.
They don't touch you here. Okay. But they'll touch you in the butt, the arms, stomach. Yeah.
Like they can't believe that they're standing next to you.
No, they just cop a feel.
Well, it depends. If they're nice looking, it really doesn't matter, right?
No, my wife might defer.
Well, your wife, of course, is going to defer.
She is, but at least ask.
That's true. So ask before you cop a feel. That's very important.
Excuse me, sir, may I touch your booty?
I was sitting there, and this woman signing autographs. She's in a wheelchair, so she wheels by, and she's not in the line, but she sees me. She goes, "Harry Kim, hello!" And I'm like, hi. 2 hours later, she wheels up into my line, and she gets up to the front of the line, and now she's drunk as a skunk, okay?
Oh, wow.
Now, she's in the wheelchair. She has one leg. Now, there's a table there. She launches herself out of the wheelchair, and just lands on the table and shimmies up to me, grabs my shirt, and pulls me close to her like this. And she looks at me, and she goes, "Will you be my after dinner mint?" Like that. And I'm going, "I'm sorry, but actually I have a girlfriend." Now, the minute I said I had a girlfriend, her look of lust and everything turned to anger. And she was like, she reached back, and I saw it come slow motion towards me. She slapped the bejesus out of me. And literally, as the hand comes back, I was thinking, oh no. And all the handlers and the staff people, they're like, no. She hit me so hard, I fell out of my signing chair. I'm on the ground. I get up. I have a handprint for the next 3 hours on my face. She got back in her chair and wheeled off like that. Like nothing happened.
Hey geeks, it's Jill with Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and I'm at the Boston Fan Expo, and I bumped into Deathstroke and Batman. What you doing, Batman? What's going on? You beat up Aquaman or something?
No, I brought him a pitchfork.
So you guys have very authentic looking costumes. I'm very impressed. How long did it take to get this together?
This is actually pretty quick because I actually bought most of these pieces, so.
So did you get to meet the real Aquaman yet?
Yes, I did actually, just now.
Was he jealous?
He liked my costume, he was jealous.
Do you know I'm in my cosplay glory right now? Tell me your character and then your real name.
I'm Catwoman, and my name is Kayla.
I'm Deadshot, my real name's Frank.
Poison Ivy, and I'm Emily. Harley Quinn, and I'm Nikki.
Anybody try to kill you yet?
Nobody's trying to take me on because, healing factor.
Do you guys do cosplay together often?
This is the first time that we've done it together. Yeah. Usually we're in half groups.
And did you put any of this together?
Yeah, these things were added on, and the 3D looking stuff we added onto it.
I like it. Is it just foam?
Yes. It's just
So do you guys come to the con often?
every year.
Every year? Do you do different cosplays together?
Yes, we do. We actually have a couple this weekend.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the con.
Hey, this is Marc at the Michigan Comic-Con. I'm here with Gerry Conway, the co-creator of The Punisher. Now tell me, how did you get started working on these awesome characters in comic books?
Well, I was a comic book fan as a kid. I lived in New York City, and there was an opportunity to go to tours at DC Comics. I took it and started offering story ideas, asking for writing assignments, meeting editors, just making a pest of myself, and eventually they started buying some of my scripts.
So what part did you have in creating The Punisher?
Well, it was my idea to create a character, to introduce another character, another villain called the Jackal. And one of the ways that you can build up a new villain is by giving him a henchman who has some strong identifiers of his own. We thought that the Punisher would be a one-shot type of character. As we developed the character, we realized that the Punisher had a lot of potential.
Did you ever think that character would be as big as it is today?
No. Back in the early 70s, we thought the comic book business itself was going to collapse soon. The idea that any of this would have an impact outside of our own little field was rather fantastic,
So did you get any guff from people when they decided, you were behind deciding to kill off Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, we got quite a lot of negative feedback from fans. We came up with the idea because John Romita wanted to do something to reinvigorate the book and give readers a sense that things of consequence were happening in Spider-Man. So he wanted to kill off one of the main supporting characters, and his suggestion was Aunt May. And I felt she was still too valuable to the book, and I wanted to see Mary Jane take a bigger part in the series. So I suggested let's kill off Gwen Stacy.
This is Marc at the Michigan Comic-Con with one of the greatest creators of comic books ever, Mr. Conway right here.
Okay, everyone, time for our first commercial break.
Stick around. We'll be back with more Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
The magic of movies and more isn't just our tagline. We believe in its truth. A movie theater auditorium where wonderful stories unfold is a magical place. Whether a 2-hour film, a 3-hour epic, or merely the anticipation of viewing trailers, your every viewing experience is very important to us. Imagine's a pure Michigan company, founded and operated by Michigan natives. And moviegoers like you aren't just customers, you're our guests. So when it comes to moviegoing, we know you have a choice. And on behalf of our entire team, thank you for choosing Imagine.
Welcome back to Comic Experience Sci-Fi, everybody. What do we have next, Jill?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let's find out.
All right.
This is Richie Rollins with Comic Experience Sci-Fi, and I'm standing here with Victoria Atkin, an accomplished actress from England. So you've been in video games that are really popular right now, like Fortnite.
Yeah, I just joined Fortnite. I'm learning what this franchise is all about. It seems to be extremely popular. This character, Thora, in Fortnite, and a new character coming up, which I haven't announced yet. So yeah, I've been working a lot with Epic Games, who are great.
Here's a little something for you.
It's been a lot of fun to learn about that part of the industry.
How did you fall into the video game voiceover work?
Well, my manager, we were doing TV shows and films, and then they said, there's a motion capture job to do the motion and the performance capture for a character that was going to be a new Lara Croft-esque type. And so I said, okay, we'll see how that goes. And we did a few rounds, and Ubisoft liked what I was doing. And then I was in Toronto for 8 months making Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
When they make this a live-action movie, because, Hollywood will.
Hopefully.
You're going to be the lead character?
Yeah, I hope so. It's it's set in Victorian London, and we meet Charles Darwin, Charles Dickens, Florence Nightingale, all of these great, fun, historical characters. So it would be great to see it on the screen as as a live action or a movie. It would be great.
When did you decide to become an actress?
Before I could decide anything else. I found out a number of years ago that I was named after an actress, but I haven't dreamt of doing anything else. So I'm very lucky to be able to do it as a living.
All right. Is there any projects you're working on now that you could talk about that's coming up in the future?
Yeah, I did a TV show called Extinct. It's 10 episodes of sci-fi. So the guys that wrote Ender's Game, Orson Scott Card and Aaron Johnson, created this world that 400 years in the future, the human race has been extinct and they're bringing humans back. So I'm the first woman to be reborn. There's a new movie, the guys that did Insidious and Paranormal Activity. There's a movie that's coming out in January called Escape Room, and I'm going to be part of that as a voiceover in the escape room. So that's a moved into movies with my voiceover work.
It was very nice. Thank you for...
Nice to meet you. Have a great Comic-Con.
You too. And we'll see you next time.
Hey, Comic Book Geeks. Comic Book Casey coming at you from the San Diego Comic-Con. We are in the Gaslamp Quarter District area. We are currently at the Star Trek Discovery exhibit. I am here with the phenomenal Star Trek artist, JK Woodward. I like the last name. That's where our office is located in Birmingham, Michigan. So Mr. Woodward is gracious enough to talk to us about the comic book that he's been working on, a series of comic books for Star Trek, starting with Mirror Broken, but this originates from, let's just say, the Kirk era of Star Trek.
There's been actual 3 series, one that just came out, and the first one was called Mirror Broken, and that's where we introduced the world to what the Mirror Universe would look like in Next Generation. And like you said, it was based on the original Mirror Mirror, which was a TOS episode, an original series. But we tied in the continuity to go with what they had also done in Deep Space Nine. Because they never did a Mirror Universe episode in TNG, we figured it was about time to do it in some way. That was kind of the origins of that, and we just took it to IDW and went to town.
So you have another book coming out in this series of, I guess you can say, some of the Terra Incognito. And is this a continuation of Mirror Broken, or is these all different storylines?
It's continuing in the sense that it's part of the continuity. Now we have this coming up. It's called Terra Incognita, and it's somebody from the Mirror Universe, and I won't say who because I don't want to spoil it, is infiltrated the crew in the regular universe. And he's going around causing mayhem. And that's going to be a 6-issue miniseries. Now on that, I'm just doing the covers because I'm working on something else that I can't talk about right now. But the Tiptons are writing it, and I've read the scripts, and it's fantastic. I think everybody's going to enjoy that.
Okay, well, we are definitely looking forward to seeing more from JK Woodward because this is great artwork. It reels you right in, and I'm going to get you to try to spill some secrets to me after the camera shuts off because I want to know what you're working on outside of
Give
this.
me a couple of beers, I'll get loose-lipped.
Okay, Comic Experience Sci-Fi, that's what we do, man. We got the beer for you.
This is Marc at the Michigan Comic Con. I am here with one of the Decepticons, Scrapper. You are one of my most dangerous adversaries. Anyways, hey, this is Marc at the Michigan Comic Con. I'm here with Jeremy. He's one of our regular cosplayers. He's usually dressed up in some elaborate costume. You know, he's always like Serpentor or he's Ghidra. Now today he's Scrapper, one of the Decepticons from the Transformers. Hey man, so how did you come up with this costume? What did you build it out of?
I used EVA foam and I used a visor for the eyes. The tires are actually made of foam too. I made my own tires, I didn't buy tires. I just rolled a bunch of foam around and then put little eyeballs for the bolts. So a lot of foam. And the back has metal bolts to keep the shovel on so it doesn't fall off. Pretty heavy, but yeah, it holds it on good.
How do you get in and out of this one? Do you need help with this?
Oh no, I put it on all by myself. I just I put the torso on first, then I put the top part, and then I put the mask on, and I put the legs on last.
Why did you decide to be Scrapper? Well, what about like just...
He's the leader of the Constructicons, and he likes to build stuff, and he's like a really good leader of the Constructicons. He comes up with good ideas. That's kind of how I feel I am.
Yeah, it fits your personality.
Yeah, it fits my personality good.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And, my cousin really wanted to be him, so I had to beat him to the punch because I knew he would never make it. So I figured, I'm like, no, Scrapper's who I should be, man.
But you're usually here with other people. Who are you here? Are you here with anyone else today?
Not today. Tomorrow we're doing a Cobra group.
Oh, that's right, because you kind of look like Cobra Commander there with your little silver visor there.
Yep, I actually used a Cobra Commander mask to make the visor. So.
This is Marc from the Michigan Comic Con, here with Jeremy as Scrapper. More than meets the eye.
Thanks, guys.
We've got another commercial break. Stick around. We'll be back with more Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
Stop what you're doing and come check out how we do things here at Able Ideas Comic Book Production Company. There we got your attention. Now go to our YouTube channel to subscribe and follow us on social media. Stay tuned for our uncensored DVD coming soon. And for more information, follow us at ableideas.com where your ideas come to life.
Hey, you're still here.
Yeah, let's show them our next segment.
This is the Q from Comics Experience Sci-Fi. I'm here with Richard Comley, the creator and author and illustrator of Captain.
And floor sweeper for the crew afterwards, too.
All that good stuff. He gets all the fun. Of Captain Canuck. Tell us how you got started with that.
Well, this goes way back to 1970s. It all started when I met someone who was a friend by the name of Ron Leishman, and he suggested that Canada needed its own superhero. Well, there should be a Canadian superhero in a Canadian comic book series. And that was the beginning of it. And I started to get serious with the idea in '73 and published the first issue of Captain Canuck in 1975. The original series is about a Mountie named Tom Evans who joins a new organization in Canada called CISO. Would be similar to the American CIA or something like that. As a Mountie, him and his brother are more or less conscripted into CISO. CISO is looking for the brightest and the best. Aliens come along and examine the species. They do this from time to time.
Of course.
And yeah, it happens. They might do all kinds of examinations that you wouldn't want them to really do.
But we don't know.
We don't know. You don't remember the next morning when you wake up. And this is what happened to them. They affected Tom in such a way that he didn't have superpowers, but when he went back to CISO and they were testing all the agents, they found that he was twice as strong, twice as fast as any other CISO agent. And that's when the light bulbs went on and they said, let's make him our showpiece. And came up with a costume, the code name, the whole bit. And so the new series, taken the same characters, and now Tom, rather than Mountie connection, he is ex-military. And so they've changed a few things. Yeah. They've done some updating and they've done some, made some other changes. And the aliens are now more involved in the series. Okay. The aliens didn't leave, they stuck around.
Of course, because we want to see the aliens now.
Well, yeah, we do.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I've had a blast talking about Captain Canuck.
Thank you.
This has been the Q from Comics Experience Sci-Fi.
We are in Boston for the Fan Expo, and I'm here with Christina, who is a professional cosplayer. Tell us, what does a professional cosplayer do?
So, when you say professional, it just means you're getting paid. We get invited to conventions and stuff. We do other things as well. I don't just cosplay. I do modeling and voice acting and other stuff as well. It's just one of the little the little hobbies that I have. But it's a lot of fun. You dress up as your favorite characters and make the costumes, and you kind of have a job that you love. So.
Well, what was your first cosplay assignment?
My first cosplay that I did was Miss Marvel from Marvel Comics, and that one's probably the one that people recognize me as, or anything like Jennifer Lawrence related.
You just dress as the characters. You don't have to play any part or anything. Is that right?
Right. Unless I'm doing some sort of voice acting gig or acting gig, it's definitely just you dress up. And maybe if a little child were to come up to you, you would kind of try to get into character. But normally it's just for the art of dressing up.
Did you know who Ms. Marvel was when you were asked to play that character?
So I actually did read comics and all that kind of stuff. So I did. I wasn't as familiar with her as I am now, but I definitely did see her in comics growing up.
Okay, do you have a particular character you like more than others?
Starfire is my favorite character of all time. So anything with her in it, I have all of her comics. I have all of her figurines, everything. So.
And how many of these shows do you usually do in a year?
I used to do around 10 or 12, but now I do 5 or 8 just because it gets really hectic, and I do have other jobs outside of this. So yeah.
Do you have any kind of strange or unique experience with the fans that you want to tell us about that might make for some comedy relief?
Just be cool. I've heard horror stories and all these kinds of things. I've never experienced it, so as long as you're cool and professional about it, it's fine. So.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and we are at San Diego Comic-Con with
Fred Packard of Source Point Press. Fred, I understand you have a new book out. Tell us about it.
I sure do. I'm the author of Soul Survivor. Soul Survivor is a story of revenge. It's about the last human who survived the genocide of the human race, and he's seeking revenge against the alien empire who took them all out.
How does he get around?
The story picks up. He wakes up in a field of dead bodies, and then he kind of ends up getting lost for about 5 years. And then a crew lands on a desolate planet where he's at, and he tries to sneak aboard, and that's kind of how the story starts. The best way I could say it's kind of like Firefly meets Punisher, but Punisher in space.
Okay, so he wants revenge for his species, not just his family.
Right, for his entire species. So everybody's been wiped out, one guy survives, and he's out for blood.
So how many books can we expect before we get to some conclusion, or are you planning a whole series on this one?
So we're going to be releasing through Diamond in 2019. We should have about 10 books out by the end of next year, which should be the first arc of the entire story for the first arc. But it's probably about 10 to 20 issues total. And then I also have the Skyland series, which won Fantasy Book of the Year for 2017 on Comic Central. Nice. This is kind of your Game of Thrones meets Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you will. It's about Skyland and her hero's journey to becoming a dragon rider. Skyland gets kind of caught up in an ancient war that's been happening in the shadows, where they're trying to bring back an evil guy to take over this land that we created in this book. So definitely an all ages type book. It's for everybody's enjoyment. It's Game of Thrones without the hard R, if you will.
So how long have you been doing Source Point Press?
So I've been with Source Point Press for a little about over a year and a half. I started up my publishing company, Charon Comics, and then Travis McIntyre, the chief executive over at Source Point, took notice to us, brought us in, and then we're kind of their imprint at this point. So we carry all the Source Point books out on the West Coast. They carry all my books on the East Coast. It's a nice arrangement.
I think we're going to hear more from Fred and his books sometime in the future. Until then, this is the Bradcast with Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
Great segment. What do you think, Jill?
That was a fantastic segment.
There's nothing like a great segment. What do you think?
I'll take lots of those segments.
I like those segments too. We'll be right back with more segments after this commercial.
Come on, buddy, we got work to do.
Welcome back to Comic Experience Sci-Fi, everybody. Jill, do you think they're going to like this next part?
Oh, I know they're going to love this next part.
All right, let's show them this next part.
This is the Q from Comic Experience Sci-Fi. I'm here with David Newell, Mr. McFeely. Speedy delivery, delivering everything.
This is our 50th anniversary of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and we're celebrating by many different ways. One being Won't You Be My Neighbor is a brand new documentary that I recommend all your viewers should see, because it really explains a lot what Fred was doing on the program. Right. And then right this minute in Pittsburgh, they're filming a feature film, you may have heard of this, with Tom Hanks. Yes. Playing Mr. Rogers, and it'll be out a year from now, October 2019, so watch for it.
Are you excited about the film?
I am. I had a cameo as me in it, in a restaurant scene where Tom Hanks is sitting with Matthew Rhys, you know, the actor, and they're having a conversation, and I'm sitting at the next table with some staff members and Mrs. Rogers, Fred's widow, and they pan by us, and I think you'll see us. Okay. But then there's an actor who's playing Mr. McFeely in the program who, in the context of the script, they're filming in the studio and there's a Mr. McFeely scene with Tom Hanks. So I'm in it in two different ways. When we started this program in 1967, we started taping. It went on the air in 1968, about February 19th to be exact, 1968. I thought I had a job for 1 year.
Really?
And here I am talking to you 50 years later. I didn't think that I would be talking to you 50 years from now.
You didn't think that I would be watching you growing up?
You know, on television too, well, you probably experience this. You do an interview and you don't realize when you ultimately show that interview how many people do see it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we felt when we were doing the program, at least I did. You feel you're talking to four walls.
The knowing that your legacy is going to live on, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel wonderful, and it would especially make Fred feel wonderful. That's exactly what he wanted to do, is create a package of programs for younger children that covered all the aspects of growing up.
Speedy delivery.
Hey geeks, it's Jill with Comic Experience Sci-Fi, checking out Boston Fan Expo, where I bumped into the man with the yellow hat and Curious George. What's your name?
My name is Jason. How you doing?
Hi Jason, what's your name?
David.
Very cool, very unique. I've never seen a man in the yellow hat and Curious George. So what made you guys pick this as your cosplay?
Something a little different. I think every kid started with a Curious George book when we were little.
What's going on, Bender? What's your real name?
My name is Eric Simard. I come from Quebec City.
So did you make your costume yourself?
Yes, everything here is handmade. It's made out of cardboard.
Ah, he's got presents for me. Is that for me? You can bite my shiny metal ass on that one. So I'm here with Pedro and Landra. What's your name, your real name?
Malik.
Malik, hi Malik, what's your name?
James.
Hi James. So you guys do cosplay a lot?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying the Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing?
The cosplay.
The cosplay?
Yeah.
Hey geeks, I'm here with Ladybug. What's your name?
My name is Sarah.
Hi Sarah. So why Ladybug?
I've been watching the show for a couple years now, and I just love her, and it's a simple, easy cosplay that I pulled together last minute to go with my friends.
Where's your partner in crime?
I found him a little while ago. I want to find him again, but he's been all running away from me. Chat Noir is actually supposed to be like in love with Ladybug, all nervous, and so I thought it was funny that he kept like walking away, but yeah.
The Queen of Hearts, and my name is Amelia. I'm the Mad Hatter, Romina.
You guys look so good. So did you make it yourself?
Yes.
Did? Oh my gosh, how long did it take?
A month.
A month? Okay. So how do you enjoy the con so far?
This is great. It's my first time.
Is this your first time dressing up?
Yes.
Wow, it's their first time dressing up. You guys look amazing.
Well, that's it for this episode of Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
That's right, but don't forget, next week we have one final bonus episode. Don't miss it. Happy New Year, everybody. And you're taking my line, so I'm like,
stepping all over you. Welcome back to Comic Experience Sci-Fi, everybody.
What?
And
Wait for that.
3, 2, 1. Okay, one more time.